So we are here with Lars from Fotografit.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
We'd like to hear if you have any news in the photography world you want to talk about today.
Yes, plenty of news, always news. I guess for me the most important news is that I've become an Nauticam Nordic distributor and service partner. We went to the Nauticam factory and went through the service course and had a great relation with the Nauticam guys. And because of that, we're increasing our efforts in Nauticam and we'll be stocking a lot more items.
Right.
So, I mean, we're going to have these small babies in stock and ready to ship to people. I think most people know about the quality from Nauticam. They are not the most, they are in fact the most expensive, but there's a reason for that.
Okay. So what do you put in that housing?
Oh, this is for the RX 100 Mark V. And that's the very, very popular series from Sony, their compact series called RX 100. Okay. It does full 4K filming.
So if I have a DSLR today, what's the reason for me to convert to the smaller?
Well, I had the same thoughts for a couple of years because I used to use the D800, and I downsized to I've went for the Sony A7 myself, which is a mirrorless housing myself. Mirrorless camera, and hence that it's a much smaller housing. And that's the thing about mirrorless. It becomes smaller. It's just as fast. Some people don't like that, but all of a sudden you don't have the mirror within the camera. It's just a digital lens you're using. I like it. Okay. It's small, compact.
And I guess when you travel a lot, it's good to have a smaller...
Well, we all know about the troubles in the customs and in the airports. Yes, for a lot of people it's been important that it's small and compact. And that's where the mirrorless housings are really popular because you have such a high quality on the sensor side. And the processor is just as fast, but the cameras are just so small, and they have interchangeable lenses. So you can actually get a really, really good camera with fantastic quality in a very small package now. Meaning you can most often bring it in your hand luggage within the cabin of the flight.
Sure. And then I guess you can buy some wet lenses to that one also.
Yeah, the wet lenses is the trick to everything now. I mean, many people are used to photography lenses that we cover with dome ports. That's optically not the most smart solution actually. Nauticam realized some years ago that if they wanted to increase the quality of underwater photography, they should use water contact lenses. So they spent a fortune and many man hours into finding proper lenses for their systems. So I know a lot of people know about the old Nikonus lens. It's a 15mm.
Yeah.
I can just
I had it myself.
You had it yourself? Yeah, I couldn't afford it when I was young. I had the 12mm from CNC. But the WWL lens, now it sits on a port here, is probably what I would call one of the sharpest lenses on the market at all. And this one is what I use on my full frame camera.
Okay.
It's got the collar now to keep it a little bit buoyant. It's quite heavy lens, incredible good quality. And that's because it's designed for underwater use. It's not a land-based lens designed for land, then somebody put a dome around it. No, it's actually meant to go underwater.
So that is also kind of wet lens, yes?
It is a wet lens, and that's what Nauticam realized is that the systems are getting smaller. We all can have fantastic quality in really small camera packages. And they made really small, neat housings for them, but there's a lot of nice, small, neat housings. The main difference will be in the lenses in the future, and that's why they decided to dominate the market for underwater lenses, water contact lenses.
So I guess with a small frame camera, you don't need to choose, because with my DSLR, I need to choose before I go diving. Okay, is it macro today? Yeah. Is it wide angle? But
that was the thing about my A7. I realized that I could actually use this one, and then I still had the opportunity to bring a macro, and I could just take this one off, put it on. They have a bayonet system, Nauticam, so I could easily take it off, put it on the arm, take the macro lens, and snap that one off.
Yeah.
Boom, and then I was using macro on the same dive. Yeah, it's always been the problem for, you know, underwater photographers to make that decision. Should I go macro now, and what happens if I see a whale shark? The thing is, and I can easily say this now because it's out in the open, but Nauticam is working on a lens which is even smaller than this one, which is meant to go on DSLR housings, macro lenses.
Okay.
So you put it on for Nikon it's the 105 millimeter, for Canon it's the 100. So you have a complete traditional macro setup for DSLR, but then you have this high power, really effective and very sharp wide angle hanging here waiting. So once that whale shark coming, you just grab that, mount it on, and then you have a fully functional wide angle system. And that's very new. And this is, they're still playing with the lens to make it perfect, but it's going to be hopefully out this year.
Would be interesting to test that one.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm going to be one of the first to have it. It's something that's going to revolutionize the market for people like us because we're from a part of the world where we do a lot of macro. Okay, we don't have good visibility, so we most often set our kits up for macro. But then if we have this option, very often we can do wide angle. And you would see that a lot of underwater photographers in the Nordic region are a little bit scared of using wide angles. A lot of people don't like it, but that's because they're not used to it. And you would be able to, you can do great wide angle shots in our region as well.
Okay. So Lars, do you have anything else you want to show us?
Oh yeah, I am also a distributor for a company called iDiveSite, and they produce a lot of different accessories for diving, and they have a huge light program, but this year they just, actually it was last year, they came out with a Symbiosis light.
Okay.
And the Symbiosis just came, it's in SS1 and SS2. This is the SS2. It's a combination of a high power LED light. This one has a 2000 lumen head on it and then a flash. And it's a very neat package. The price range is really good for two reasons. First of all, it's a combined package, but it doesn't have electric cables. Also, it does not have TTL. It has two autofunctions, but mainly I use manually. The reason why it doesn't have TTL is a Japanese invention. It's patented, so you actually pay for using it. So because they're not using that, this is a really cheap solution. And for many, many people who's become used to using light as their main light source, being underwater photographers, they really like the fact that they can now use these small cameras and see what they're doing. So they use light, but they know they should use flash because flash will freeze any animal they shoot, but they are not too familiar with flash. So this is a combination where you can use the LED light and at the same time, sorry, I'll turn it off again, and then at the same time use well, the combination of LED and flash. And it's really interesting. And actually, if you can pass me that snoot over there, still lighting, sorry. I can just continue talking.
No problem. Do you have the red light also for night times?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has 3 built-in, that snoot there. No, the snoot, that's the flexible one. That's the snoot, yes, please. Thank you. See, it has 3 different settings and 2 red ones, or turn off. So even if you have flash, this is actually one of the fastest flashes on the market, and it's powered with this large battery. So that's quite interesting. See, this one is a demo. It's the only one in the world partly working. They're really trying to finalize this one. I hope it's going to be ready within the next 6 months. The factory sent it to me for this show. It's basically a snoot, and snoots are not new. Anyone knows about snoots. But the thing is here, this snoot goes on both the LED package and the flash at the same time. So when you turn it on and you have, well, now I didn't really screw it on. Let's turn it on. Do you have it? Oh, sorry, I turned it off here. There you go. See, there's not proper LEDs, fiber optics inside, so it's just a little bit. If you put your hand out again, you can see.
Yeah, there you have it. Okay.
And I'll turn this one down.
I think that's a bit...
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
See? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
That means that you can use it for video, you can do snooting for video, or you can use photography with LED, high power LED, and at the same time use it for flash with the same outlet.
So Lars, then we talk about something else.
Well, yeah, I'm really much into the Nausicam thing with the high quality and the large video housings as well. But I also do a lot of GoPro stuff. I don't sell GoPros. I don't like selling GoPros. People can buy them, you know, in the shop next door, in the supermarket these days. But many people has them and they want to use stuff for them. So I have a lot. I specialize in accessories for GoPros,
Yeah.
lights, trays, handles, arms, everything. But the new Flip 5 system has come out. Which is great. It's fun using the filters. People ask me a lot, how should they use filters? Should they use filters? Yes, you can use filters for GoPro. You have to be a little careful. It doesn't always work. But the funny thing is with the Flip 5, and I'm just going to lean out here, is that you can use the macromate lens on it. So you can actually combine the filter package here, where you flip the filter on and off, with a macro lens on GoPro. Okay. And you know, I have a couple of films where I'm just, every time I show this to people, they're amazed about the quality of the macro of what a GoPro can do. So there's so many hours of fun within this small lens, and that's for everybody.
So do you actually just screw them on the housing you get with the GoPro when you buy it, or?
Yeah, it's a frame. You sort of screw onto the front port of the GoPro housing, or the GoPro itself, and you have the flip system.
Okay.
The reason why you need to use flip is any other filter you click on, forget about it. I don't even want to sell it, because if you have a clip-on filter, you know, and you want to take it off, what do you want to put it? In your pocket? You'll scratch it. If you have a string for it, it's going to cling and hang there and be in front of your lens so many times. So the only proper way to use a filter is having a flip filter. The other thing is, most people take the filter on in the boat. They shouldn't use the filter until 1 or 2 meters. So take the filter off, be ready, put it on. And that's why it's important that it can flip. So people find these expensive sometimes, but they're worth it.
So if you're interested in your products, we will find them at
www.fotografit.eu. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shipped to Sweden all the time.
Perfect. Thank you, Lars.
No worries. Thanks.
Okay.